Welcome back to Too Many Projects Garage. I'm Josh, and today we might get this Rambler back on the road. So you might be wondering why we have it up on the lift, and the reason being is the shifter mechanism was stuck in park, and last night we tinkered with it. We found out that it was someone probably jammed it in park while they were moving, and it got totally seized up in there. But we got it all moving now, so we're cleaning up the gasket in the pan, and we're gonna put all new fluid in there, and hopefully it will shift. So fingers crossed. That's like the biggest unknown on this whole vehicle. We know the engine runs from the last video, we just don't know about that. And also, while it's up in the air, we're gonna change the oil. So knock two birds out with one stone. So pretty excited, and you could tell it was rebuilt by Aaron's Transmission in Springfield, Missouri. So maybe, who knows, it might not even have that many miles on it. But then again, it was a 65 and it was parked in 1980, late 80s. So, you know, it's like 20 years basically. So who knows when it might have had that transmission rebuilt in that time frame. And I don't think Aaron's Transmissions in Springfield, Missouri still exists. So, but you could definitely tell it's old. Look at this old filter. I don't know what brand it is. We'll have to look at it and see when we take it off. Colin's still cleaning up that pan over there, as you can see. And I'm going to loosen this, which it takes an inch, which is crazy. Big old plug, but it'll do. I just gotta do it with one hand. All right, well, I'll get that off and we'll see what it looks like. Quite dark. I did get it out. I had to use the impact because it was pretty tight. I got oil all over the impact. It's like dripping. I have to clean it off, but oh, don't wanna. There we go, look at that. Smells a little gassy, I'm not surprised. And then once we get that off, then we'll drop the filter. Once we drain it, I mean to say, we'll drop the filter. First oil change in 40 years, just about. Not quite, but maybe, actually. It depends on how long they were driving it beforehand with this oil in it. Oh man, I'm curious what brand this oil filter is. We'll find out here in a moment. So while we're waiting for the oil to drain out, which it mostly has already, let me explain why it was stuck in park. We're thinking whenever they were driving it last or something, they panic threw it into park because it was rolling or something to that effect. And when they did that, they did it too hard and pushed this little lever, this little tip. You can see the tip just right there, too far, and it actually got stuck in the little ball detent that allows it to click into all the gears, and then it basically could not be shifted out of park. So what we had to do was get a drill, a really long drill bit in there, and just kind of nibble at that edge of that ball detent area enough to get that little pointy bit out of the hole and then allow us to shift it. That kind of put a little kibosh on me working on this, and that's why I haven't made a video on it in a while, but we're back at it. We got it going, and we're gonna get it all sealed up and see if she spins. Hopefully she does. Now, can I get this oil filter off by hand? I'm not confident, but oh, actually, wow, that wasn't even tight, which is good. And it wasn't leaking, so obviously it was just right. Let's put the massive 1-inch oil drain plug back in. Just finger it in there for now. Scooch this over here so in case it splashes. I can't raise this up any higher, so it's a shorty. Driver's Choice. That's the name of the oil filter brand.
An old store brand, maybe.
Probably. Let me just let it drip a little bit before. I don't want a torrential downpour. It's not that bad. Well, anyways, we're gonna let this do its thing, and we'll probably clean up the oil filter and just show you guys what it looks like. So speaking of old oil filters, when I moved into this place, this used to be my grandpa's house, we dug through his old shed and we actually found some original Kmart oil filters, which is still sealed in the package. This one's a Checker brand. I've never even heard of that brand. Like the cab oil filter. Unfortunately, it's really hard to cross-reference oil filter numbers and stuff like that, so I have no idea what these go to, but I'm sure we could figure it out. But yeah, I just figured I'd show you guys some of like the old oil filters. I'm probably gonna keep that other oil filter just because it's neat, you know, and like how often, you're never gonna see that oil filter again. Let's see if we can look at it. Let's get this and we'll clean off some of it. Get a rag here and we'll wipe it off and we can look at it. Kind of fun to see the vintage oil filters. It's very heavy. It's a very heavy oil filter. Look at that. Walmart brand WF-24 oil filter. It has a Porsche on it. That's kind of cool. Driver's Choice. Kind of neat, huh?
Shows the applications on that side.
Yeah, it says AMC 6-cylinder V8 partial General Motors cars Pontiac. Kind of neat. And it even tells you how to put it on there, on the oil filter. I don't think they do that with the modern oil filters anymore. Kind of cool. Look at that. Look how crusty it is on the bottom though. Gross. All right, we're gonna clean off that surface and we're gonna throw the new Wix oil filter on. We get the filter installed on the engine, 51258. Installed, Wix, good stuff. And we're gonna put on the pan and gasket for the transmission and then lower it down and fill her all up. Oh, and the filter. Gotta throw that on. Goes on just like a shoe. Goes on this little tube here. If I can get it on there. Shoves on and then it goes onto that one. Hold that there for me. And it uses this little bar right here that clips in on these tubes like so. Kind of needs to be squeezed in a little bit. There you go. Installed filter. Unfortunately, we had to reuse this filter just because I could not find another one. So we cleaned it in the ultrasonic cleaner and blasted it with a bunch of brake clean from the inside out. And I think that'll be better than not having a filter. Putting the gasket on, and it's awesome because it holds on to the bolts for you. So you don't even have to hold the bolts, which is very convenient. Honestly, we just need to get 2 on there and then we'll tighten all of them down. And we'll have hopefully a fresh gasket and we won't have any leaks out of the pan at the very least. That was good. That was good. That was good. That was good. 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 My mouth are hurting. I did it again. Drips. 2 drips on the forehead. The last piece of the puzzle, getting this dipstick tube put back in and tighten it down if I can get it started. Problem is it's kind of tight. I think I got it. Started. And we'll just give it a nice ugga-dugga. That way it just makes sure it don't leak. Luckily it's a flange fitting, so it helps. And there's a copper gasket in there, so it's like a double whammy. Got the shifter bushing and everything, new cotter pin installed. So now it's ready to drop down so we can put oil and transmission fluid in the car. I cannot wait to take this to the car wash. It's quite dirty. So we need to get the carburetor back on and fill it up with oil and transmission fluid, and then we can try hooking up some temporary fuel to it and see if it starts and runs and how it does. Of course, put water in. I'm just going to put water in for now just in case, and we'll drain it. If anything, it needs to be circulated, and then we need to drain it out anyways. Honestly, it wouldn't hurt to take off the thermostat because I'm sure that's ruined at this point, for so sure. There's no doubt. So we might pull this hose off real fast too while we're... After we make sure everything runs, we'll pull this hose off, and because we're just going to run it for maybe 5 seconds or something, or maybe 10 seconds. Yeah, we'll check out the heater core. We'll see. All right, let's get started. So we're greasing up this gasket here just so that way we can reuse it if necessary, and it fills up any voids. So should be good for
both sides.
Both sides, yep. And whatever grease squeezes out, we'll just get ingested by the engine, and it'll be fine because it lubricates it, right? She's going on there, nice and greased up. And we got a fully rebuilt carb here. We used the ultrasonic cleaner and put a whole new carb kit in it. So theoretically, it should run really good right off the bat. We'll fill up the bowl and we'll see how it does. Of course, once we put oil in it, it should just sit.
Bottom of that clean?
Clean. Clean enough. Get on there. There we go.
Nice.
Gotta get this fuel hose out of the way. Oh, hardline fuel lines suck. It's great for filming. There you go. Get the little nuts on there and we'll get all this wrapped up and you'll see it here in a second. I'm using my funnel and we're putting oil in it. Even though it's threaded for Honda, it still fits in pretty much everything. So this should take 5 quarts. I'm gonna go ahead and put 4.5 and we'll check it the dipstick, see what it looks like. I can pour it in full speed, basically. Because it's got that little air vent. Let's see where we're at here. Got about 1 quart left. Fresh, brand new oil for the first time in probably 38 years. I don't know how long. Yeah, 38 years. Wow. All right, we got oil in there, and we'll probably finish putting the rest of the oil in here in a second, and then let's get some transmission fluid in. We're about to start this puppy up for the first time with the new oil and new carb and blah, blah, blah. We filled the bowl. Yep, we're about to fire it up, Mom. My mom's over there. I'm going to come over this way. Oh, no power. We need to...
Jump pack it,
yeah. We got the battery installed with the jump pack, and we'll see if it starts. Oh, it died immediately. But hey, it started. I need more fuel.
Yep.
We're about to start her up again, hopefully with more fuel. Oh. I'm taking taking off the hose for the fuel line because I don't know what's in the tank and I don't want to find out right now. And that way we can put this in a fuel tank. Make sure the fuel pump works. That's the goal, at least. So we can't get it to turn over anymore, so we're thinking this terminal is all destroyed. So we're trying to strip it and then reclamp it basically to the battery terminal. I'll have to get some new ends because that one is, yeah, definitely.
Just a new cable.
Maybe. It's working! The transmission's working! Finally! Now we just gotta get alternator belt and then get it to more fuel. It's not getting enough fuel. Well, it turns out the transmission's leaky from that spot right there and then in the middle right there. So I am draining it very slowly into this pan and we're gonna take it off and try to fix it. So we had a bunch of leaks on the bottom of this pan, and guess what? No more leaks. And it looks kind of ugly, so spray paint. No one will ever know. No one will ever know. It'll be great. Look at that. I mean, you can kind of still see it, but a couple coats and it'll just look ugly, but painted. All right, guys, we got it running. It's kind of running a little poorly. We did spill a bunch of gas on the ground. That was fun. The alternator still's not working, but we did get this new alternator installed. We had to do some fabrication to make sure it's working. I'm gonna order a new regulator because I think that regulator's bad and go from there. So I think we got her running off the tank. Revs up pretty good now. Listen to that. I love it. Needs a muffler, but it does sound pretty cool though. Oh, she died. Start her up again.
Maybe choke a little.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, listen to this thing. Oh. Oh. There you go. Pop, pop. Listen to the baby purr. Beautiful. Pretty cool. Well,
we might be starting to run below where the hose is and the jug.
And it's flowing. The thermostat opened up and it flows fluid through, and the fluid doesn't even, it looks a little dirty. I need light, but I can't really see it. Oh, here you go, light. Yeah, it's a little crusty looking in there. Probably needs flush. That's on the agenda. So, but man, it's going. And we got it to move under its own power. And maybe there's no leaks. Let me see. Get up under here. No leaks out of the pan, which it was leaking like crazy before. So good stuff. I don't even know if you guys can see that. Oh, there you go. There's the pan. You can kind of see the where all the epoxy is pretty clearly, but there's no leaks, which is pretty exciting. So it fought us today, but we got her running, and we just got to make sure the fuel is working and the brakes. So that'll be in the next episode. It does flow coolant, so we'll drain the system, flush it, and then throw in antifreeze. That'll be awesome. And once we get brakes, we'll see if it'll drive down the road. Oh, also the throttle's sticky, so you got to figure out the throttle too. But honestly, it's a really good spot to stop today, and next time you guys will see us get a little further and possibly drive it down the road for the first time in almost 40 years. See you guys next time on Too Many Projects Garage.